All right, all right, all right. It is your girl Loyalty one more time. We back at it again. And I have a special, special, special guest right here on the Loyalty and Friends Self Love podcast. We got Mr. DeShaun Williams in the building, man. This is my brother. So it's definitely an honor to now have him on my stage where I can get all up in his business, okay? Because that's my job, okay? And I love to do so. And we got a lot of similarities. So I want to stop right here for a moment to give him a time to introduce himself. And we're going to get right into it because we got 15 minutes. This is your 15-minute time to shine, okay? So, DeShaun, what have you? Let the people know a little bit about you.
Thank you. It's definitely an honor to be on. So I do have to make one correction. The first time that we met was actually on Clubhouse. Um,
You know what? You are right.
well, I have not been to the Bowden Awards yet, so hopefully
Hold on.
the next one.
Then what?
Uh,
Hold on. I think y'all was connected some way, somehow. So, as far as how did you? Okay, so let's start from the beginning. How did you and Deontay get connected? Because I know that was your connection to the wave.
so me and Deontay, we got connected through Clubhouse as well. I was sharing my story uh,
Okay.
on Clubhouse, and he just happened to come in. And prior to that, me and Deontay had never communicated outside of through Clubhouse. But that one day, he just came in, heard my story, and was like, "Hey, I want to connect with you."
Wow. And that was the beginning. And then
Yes.
I remember, yeah, I remember you from Clubhouse because you actually visited into the Loyalty and Friends space a couple of times as well. So yes, that's making sense. And also you're on the Owl app as well. So definitely good to really be able to put the faces with it. So now we got to make this come to reality because now we got to really meet in person. Because one thing
Yeah.
about it, I'm big on manifestation, and Deontay is a good brother. That is definitely my brother. I have had the opportunity not only to work with him with the Bowden Awards, I've interviewed him on my podcast before. We have definitely been connected on Clubhouse for 3+ years now. Okay, so that's definitely my brother from another mother. So I love Deontay. And through Deontay, I met so many other amazing people like Brandon, who we met at the Bowden Awards. And of course, you are a part of our Wave community. So shout out to the Wave community for sure. Man, Brandon, shout out to you because the wave movement is definitely a big movement. We're out here making big changes, and it's just an act of humanitarian. So it's amazing to be able to see people all over the globe, over the world. Okay, we got brothers in Nigeria, we have people from all over the globe right there, and we're able to actually. It makes the world seem a lot more smaller. Okay, so if you need a system of support, you want a great community that will be able to support you on and off the app, I recommend join the wave movement. And I know you're asking, how do I join, right? Huh? Well, you join through Patreon. So you can go to www.patreon, patreon.com// Yave1, Yaveone. Again, Yave one. And also, shout out to my brother Deontay, because without Deontay, none of us would have been connected. So I do appreciate Deontay. And he has the Bolden magazine. Guess what? Your girl is in the current feature of the Bolden magazine. Okay, I do have a page in there, have been featured. We got Dr. Naisha D. Davis, who is also on that. I interviewed her a couple of weeks ago. So she's on the cover, okay? So it is some powerful, and that's just only a few names, okay? There are some more powerful people in that magazine. So I am going to ask that you all support the Bolden magazine because, man, it is very, very, very powerful. I will make sure to put that link in my bio. And I'm gonna add the link to my to my link in my chat. Okay, so make sure that y'all participate and support. We need the support. But let's get back to the shine, man, because it is such an honor to have you here. I know you podcast, so I do want to hear a little bit about your podcast more because I would love to be a guest on your podcast. I have not filled out the form yet because I've been busy and booked and busy, brother. But that's a good problem to have, of course, as we know. So let's hear about your podcast, and then I want to hear about some other adventures so we can tap into those things.
So I've been podcasting for a little over 5 years now. Started in November 7th, 2018. Yeah. Um, and I've hosted 3 different podcasts. This one being my third. Um, However, I just made an announcement like, hey, I am leaving the podcast space.
What?
And
Hold up. Okay, I'm gonna let you explain, but I want to know, like, hold on, what's going on?
all right, so you know, even when I made that announcement, I told Deontay, I was like, I don't want the podcast anymore. He was like, so Hearts Aligned only had one season? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's got canceled in the middle of the season too. He was like, we need more than one season. And so I just kind of sat down and thought about it. It was like, you know what? I want it now to where, you know, because for 5 years and these 3 months, I have been podcasting, but it's all been based off of a script. I'm having questions written out and I'm reading from these questions. The world is changing. The industry is changing. People wanting a little bit more entertainment than just seriousness all the time.
Mm.
So now going forward, Hearts Aligned will actually be called Hearts Aligned. It'll be more like a roundtable discussion where I'm looking to have uh, three other co-hosts where we're just on there just cracking jokes on each other, telling real life stories, just having a good time, but also having those serious conversations that need to be had. Um, so when and Deontay was like, you know what? He was like, push out to the wave because I'm pretty sure someone would like to be a co-host with you. And I sent him
Absolutely.
a a few videos of like Shaq when he's on air, he can't hold back from laughing. Tim Tebow and Pat McAfee, to name a few people of like how I want it to be geared, where you have this serious moment, and then somebody just like, that is not what I thought. This is not where I thought this was going, and just we just started cutting up.
So I definitely like the direction that you're taking your podcast, because technically you're not leaving the podcast where you just been a little bit more inclusive, and that's the beauty in podcasting, because you can be very diverse, okay, and that's why I love the podcast where so. And I'm big on, I call it edutaining, okay? That's something that I created, edutaining network, okay? And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to educate, but you want to entertain at the same time. So when you're actually able to entertain people, but also educate them, man, that's a powerful dynamic all in itself. So I definitely understand where you're going with that. Of course, I'm always open for collaborations and things of that nature. So any support I can provide, definitely let me know for sure, because I think that's big. And it gives different point of views as well. When you have just more than me and you talking, we got other people involved and they get to also be a part of that dynamics. I think that's how we make change, because a lot of times people tend to be confrontational. They don't know how to communicate. So if we take the confrontation and stop attempting to confront people, but be more conversational, it would change the dynamics overall. So I definitely like it. And when are you thinking about? Are you already doing content for it, or when are you planning to relaunch if that's the case?
So right now, so we're just kind of like on a what I call the middle ground. It's like I want the content for it, but I don't want to create the content by myself. So um, what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna wait until these co-hosts come on, and then once I get the co-host, we're gonna start recording it. So I'm shooting for the end of January to no later than February the 12th, just
Okay.
because 11th is my birthday. So gotta at least have it started.
Happy early birthday.
So gotta have it at least started by my birthday. Uh, so that's the route that we're going. Currently working on how each show is gonna be. If it's gonna be because I always tell people I struggle with interviews that's more than 20 minutes long. So I don't know if I want to keep these segments like 15 minutes and we just do these little short shows between 10 to 15 minutes, or
Mm-hmm.
if we're just going to let it just flow.
Right. And I think, the way the world works nowadays, people have a short attention span. Okay. So I think short form interviews are definitely trending. As you see, I tend to keep my interviews. We having 15 minutes of fame, meaning that we are officially down to like, we got 4 more minutes and maybe 25 seconds for this part of the interview. But yes, I definitely like your direction. Only thing that I would be concerned about, because you're having a panel discussion, more or less, that's what I look at it more like. I would play around with that. 15 minutes may not be enough time to really get out what you want with other people involved in the conversation. So maybe between 15 and 30 minutes, maybe, where
Right.
you still able to engage, grasp their attention, give them enough, but to keep them pull them back in, right? So I love it. I love it, love it. So I'm looking forward to that. As far as your co-host, what does that look like? Are you looking for co-ed, more male dominant, or like what does that look like for you? And what age are you looking for? Because all these things are important.
So right now we're looking for two female co-hosts and then another male co-host, so that evens out the playing field. And when it comes to age, I definitely somewhere within. So I'm the young generation because I'm 25 right now. So
Absolutely, you're definitely the young generation.
yeah, so generation, and then have someone that's in like the 30 to 35 age range, and then maybe two people that's in the 30-35 age range, then somebody that's in the 35 to 40-year-old age range.
I think that's good because you'll see. So I don't care about putting my age out there because I know I look good. Okay, so your girl will be 40 this year. Okay, I would be the big 40. Okay. And I could definitely say from the time I was 25, even from 25 to 30, I'm a different version of who I was at 25. Okay. I feel like I have evolved into a different person, a different version of me. And even once I got to 30 and then 35, I saw these changes. So life is the best experience. And I think where you're coming from, that's a good way to start because it allows us to bridge those gaps in between so we can connect the youth, the younger generation, along with those who are a little bit older and a little bit more aged and who has experienced a little bit more. But I feel like we can all learn from each other. So I definitely like the direction you're going. So we got about 2 more minutes. I want to find out, outside of just your podcast, what are some other things you're working on? And then we need to figure out how can we support you, okay?
So, most definitely. So, another thing I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
um, the biggest thing I'm working on pushing out right now is called the Heart Flare brand line. In this brand line, there's clothing, there's water bottles, stickers, um,
Okay.
all these different types of things. Even got shower curtains. If you want a shower curtain with my brand on it, go
Okay.
for it. So
Is this on your website?
this is on my website. It's I actually had the logo made by a friend of mine, and they say good things takes time. And it definitely took time. It took a lot of patience. He's a tattoo artist.
Absolutely.
Hey, can you do this for me? And originally, I told him the design. He was like, "No, you need something that's gonna be somewhat simple, but a little bit more, have a little bit more to it, but people will
Absolutely.
remember." I said, "Okay."
Absolutely.
And so when he sent me the design, he was like, "How you like it?" Like, I love it, and Um, I instantly uploaded it to the website, and it just pushed out to all the content, all the different merchandise that's available.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I think that is so, so, so big. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing because a lot of people aren't taking the initiative to really get out here and do these things. And a lot of times I always tell people if your why isn't bigger than you, then maybe you're in the wrong profession. Sometimes our why have to be scary. It has to be, out of your comfort zone. That's how we kind of learn one another. So I
Right.
just thank God for always, putting us in that right path and with the right people, making sure we get in the right alignment. I'm going to put this link in the bottom, okay? Because it's fairly long. We will put this in the chat so you all can actually engage because I think this is important. And we want to support our brother. He got some banging things. I was able to see the website. So I'm very impressed. Very much impressed, brother. I think you did amazing. I'm looking forward to support you however I can. And I'm looking forward to having more conversations like this because this is where it started. And the more we support each other on and off the app, the more we can be a part of change and what we see in our community. So, with that being said, y'all, we got some exclusive content, okay? This is the end of this interview, but I have an exclusive interview. So, if you want to actually engage in our exclusive interview because I'm going to get all in his business. We're going to the childhood, okay? We want to know about a little trauma that he maybe experienced. You can catch that interview if you subscribe to my channel, okay? So make sure you subscribe to my Instagram page, which is Loyalty in Everything. Again, that's Loyalty, I is in India, N is in Nancy, everything, no slang, spell it all the way out. Loyalty in Everything. And once you subscribe, you will have access to more exclusive content outside of just our interview. So I look forward to it. So on that note, it has been a pleasure, DeShaun, to have you here on the Loyalty and Friends Self Love Podcast. We're going to end it so we can get into that exclusive interview. Until next time, if you want to be a guest, make sure you go to that link that is flashing up on the banner right below. And I would love to have you as a guest. I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.